Ooh, let me see if I get my Fathom. My Fathom might be joining us. Yay. Okay, cool. All right, y'all, what's going on? Arel Moody here, co-founder of Talkadot. Super excited to do this AMA. For those of you who have been on an AMA before, you'll know how this works. If you've never been on an AMA before, I'm going to tell you how it works. The way that this works is this is set up to get your specific questions answered. Anything that you need to figure out, this is what we're here for. There's no set format. It's not like I'm teaching something. For all of our Talkadot Pro users, I'm super, super excited about our Talkadot Pro training that's going to be happening next week. So if you are unfamiliar with Talkadot Pro trainings, all of our Talkadot Pro members, we do specific trainings just for you that's not available anywhere else. And what we're doing on, I think it's the 20, Marissa, is it the 27th? I don't have my calendar pulled up. The 26th? What date did I?
It's the 26th.
The 20th. Thank you, Marissa, for being
You're
my
welcome.
wingman, my wing woman. We're going to be doing the best places to find speaking opportunities. So for many people, they go, well, hey, I want to start booking more talks. Where do I go to find them? Where are the best pools to find high quality speaking engagement from? We're going to be covering the whole gamut. So I'm going to show you exactly where to go, exactly how to reach out to people, what to say. It's going to be a really, really, really fun training. So if that's something that you're interested in and you're a Talkadot Pro member, make sure to look out for the email because you're going to be getting that email. If you're a Talkadot Lite member or on a Pro trial, you should consider upgrading to Pro. We got lots and lots of cool features for Pro. And before we jump into going into the questions, I want to make sure all of you know about our most recent upgrades. So let me just actually pull that. Wait, Zapier. Where you at? Bop, bop, bop. There you are. I'm gonna change this. Hold on. Okay, great. Let me show you this, and then we're gonna jump in to your questions. I just want to make sure you know about these features because they're really cool features. I'm actually really excited about these features. So if you are a Talkadot Pro user, make sure to turn this feature on. So go over to your face and go to your settings right here where it says account settings. Click on that and make sure you've scrolled down to where it says email campaigns. You can actually turn on automated emails that will go out to all of your folks. Now we have a built-in email for your booking leads. If you click here and go to view email template, this is the email that will go out to your members. It basically says, thanks so much for attending my presentation. You mentioned you were interested in booking me to speak. Let's talk more about that. It also gives away your bonus. Now here's what's cool about this email system. If you did not upload a bonus, it doesn't give away your bonus. So it's not going to say something that's not true. If you have a calendar link put into your Talkadot, it'll also serve up your calendar link so people can jump on your calendar link and schedule a meeting with you. If you don't have your calendar link, it won't serve up your calendar link. So we've kind of thought about all those permutations. So we're good to go. So just make sure to turn those on. We also have an email that goes out to everyone who's opted in, just saying, thanks so much for staying in touch. Here's my bonus link. Make sure to connect with me on social media, and whatever social media that you put in here, we'll make sure that they can follow you there. And everyone who says that they want to refer you to speak, we send out an email on your behalf as well. So this is automatically set up. So once your leads come in, this gets sent to you. If any of you have the curiosity, which I bet you do, well, I want to customize this email, Arel. I want to make it sound more like me. So if you'd like to do that, what we recommend doing is using our Zapier integration. So if you are familiar with Zapier, Talkadot now communicates with Zapier. So you can have your emails come in, and then you can turn on a Zap and put them into your ConvertKit or MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or whatever it is that you do to send emails, and automate it however you would like to automate it. If anyone, you were like, how come I can't automate it from within here? Well, the reason why you can't automate it from within here is, the honest answer is because we're sending the email from our servers. So if people start using language that, how do I say this as nice as I can?
How are you mad at me and you were going to hit me, fucking asshole?
Well,
that's the language.
Well, that's Zoom. That's a 2020 problem that just happened in 2024, where somebody didn't realize they was unmuted And they was having a side conversation. So everyone, 2024, we still have 2020 issues. So what I was basically saying is, if you change the email language to something that would actually increase the spam score. So let's say someone would change the language to say, I've got this free program that's going to show you how to make a bunch of money, and they changed it and they sent it from our system, the spam filters would show that as spam. So we created an email that has been highly researched to make sure that it accomplishes the goals that you want it to accomplish, but will not trigger any of the spam filters. And we watch that like a hawk. So this will increase our deliverability. If you're like, hey, I want it to say the words I wanted to say, that's why we have the Zapier integration. So you can connect it to your email campaign and say whatever it is that you want to say coming from your email service. So that's a cool feature we're really, really excited about. So make sure you can use our email follow-up or our Zapier integration. Let's jump on to the questions. I saw some questions coming into the chat, which is great. We're going to answer those. If you have a question, the way that you ask your question is go to the reactions and just use your raise your hand function, which is right here. It'll create a queue, and we're going to just walk through all of your questions. Some people, by the way, like to join AMAs not to ask any questions, but just to listen and hear what other people are asking so they can grow. If you want to do that, that's super awesome, and we support that. Kathy said, what time on 3/27? Marissa answered that. Yeah, we're meeting at 4 p.m. Eastern on March 27th. Is it March 27th? March 26th, Tuesday, March 26th. So we're meeting Tuesday, March 26th, not the 27th, Tuesday, March 26th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Barbara, what's up, Barbara? How do we schedule the automated emails? I'm on the trial and didn't know how to set it up. Yeah, so that's a feature that you can go into your settings. So I'm going to show it again. To turn on the email feature, you want to click on your face right here and then click account settings. And in account settings, the first thing that I would recommend doing is adding a meeting link. So if you use like schedule once, you can book me Calendly, you can put that there. And then if you scroll down to where it says email campaigns, they're all going to look like this. They're going to be toggled off. Just make sure to toggle them on. And that's it. That's all you got to do. And then the emails will start sending out on your behalf. All right. Grace said, with the change coming on email spam mailing, do you use the platform to get, yeah, so that's one of the reasons. So Grace, you know about this. Not everyone knows about this. So there's a lot coming in on the spam and all that stuff. So we're using language and we're going to be monitoring it to make sure that these emails deliver. When we give people permission to do whatever they want to do, they could not be aware of the new changes. So you should be really, really good with our system. And if we notice our spam rating dropping or something like that, we will fix it. So you can know that when you use our tool, you'll get high deliverability, which is really great. And again, if you want to customize it, that's why we have the Zapier integration.
Errol, since we're on the topic of the email,
Yes.
if I already, this was like it's a week has passed. So if I toggle it on, will it go out, or how will that? It doesn't work.
It'll only turn on and send emails for new contacts that come in. So your emails that are already in your system, if you turn that on, it's not like they're going to get a flood of emails. So moving forward, everyone who comes into your system will get that email.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great. Let's jump into questions. Lisa, what's going on?
Hello. Okay, so have you ever had a situation when you were doing a speaking engagement and your second payment was delayed or they forgot about it? And how did you handle that?
So
that doesn't happen very often, but it can.
No, for sure. No, for sure. We've had people who were like, oh, we already paid you. And you're like, no, that was a deposit, Playboy. You got to do the second part too, right? So it's real simple. You just, you should have an invoice. And if they've paid the invoice, you can say, hey, as you can see, we received payment on January 5th. We've yet to receive the second payment. It's been, 30 days since we delivered services. Could you please let me know if there's anything you need from me to help secure the payment? So I never go to language that's like, hey, bruh, I'm gonna bust your kneecaps if you don't get my money, right? Like I never go there. It's always stating facts. Services were delivered on January 5th. It is now March 19th. Payment has not been received. Is there anything you need from us to help us secure the payment? So so that's like statement one. Statement two is it's been 60 days or whatever, 45 days. Like I usually give them a week or two.
Yeah.
It's been 45 days. Payment has still not been received. Could you please update us on when? What I have found with accounts payable offices, they pay the bill that either has the most squeaky wheel or I need to pay right now. If I don't have to pay it right now, they don't. So the only way you get them to pay it now is it's either overdue or your squeaky wheel. So again, don't do anything like emotional or like, and
Right.
I don't think you would, but just state the facts and then let them feel the pressure of those facts.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Jim, always the best, Jim. Jeez Louise. Always love me some Jim. Love me some Jim.
Woohoo!
What's up, brother?
So a couple of things. Just in response to Lisa's thing, if we do split payment, like 50% deposit and 50% for second payment, that second payment is due 60 days in advance of the event. And the gentle reminder is we don't show up until we've received, like the contract isn't valid until we've received full payment. So
That's right.
that puts the meeting pressure, or a meeting planner just calls accounting and says, look, I have 700 people showing up. My speaker isn't showing up because you haven't paid them yet.
That's right.
Because
That's
I
right.
pay for the flights in advance. Like I'm going into negative cash flow. Whatever. Anyways,
100%. Yeah. And that's
so
it. And I just wanted to say one more thing, and that's why it's important to have that language in the contract, which is also just like sometimes people don't always like see it the way you do, but you can always revisit it and say, as stated in the contract, full payment is due, 30 days or 60 days before delivery of services. We're currently in that window. Please update me on it. So that's a really important thing you said there, Jim.
And I'll also take a credit card. So the language you use is important. So would you like to put that on a Visa or a MasterCard?
Yeah.
Like you don't say, hey, send me a check. It's like Visa or MasterCard.
Yeah.
We'll take in
the or is
Amex
great
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question, and I have two, is I've been recommending Talkadot to everyone I talk to. I just went to NSA Thrive, and you had one of your team there. She was delightful.
Marissa, she's on the call.
Marissa, there you are.
Yeah.
Yes. So she and I talked. But I've been recommending it to a ton of people, but I don't know where the referral code link is and what the referral code deal is. I think it's, if you're a new member, you get it for $3.99 and I get a $50 referral fee. Like I'm just recommending it because it's great. But it'd help if I knew where the code was, and Michael, who's on my team, is here. He can put it into something. So
Absolutely.
This is question number one.
All right, so I'm going to answer question number one. So when you log into your home screen, you're going to see this link on the upper right-hand corner. That's your referral link. So all you want to do is click on that and then maybe hit copy and then give people that link. When they use that link, if you click on get rewarded right here, you'll see that you'll get $50 for every person who upgrades to pro. And then your referee will get a 30-day pro trial for free. And they'll also, instead of it being $420 for the year, it's $399. But if they upgrade within the first 30 days, it drops down to $374. So they get a little bit of a discount for taking action within the first 30 days. And then each year after that is $399. So that's how you get the link. And for everyone who's curious, like, please tell people about it. Now, one thing you should be aware, if when they register, if we say, how did you hear about us? And they put in Jim Harris, we connect that to your account. However, just so you all know, it takes a whole lot of customer service hours to do that. We do it because we love y'all and we care about y'all. But if you could make sure to use your link, it would save us our back end a bunch. Because sometimes people spell your name Jim Harris with one R. And then we've got to be like, wait a minute, there's no Jim Harris with one R. So, but anyway, not that that's your thing, that's our thing, because we care about y'all. We want to make it work. But if you want to do it, use that link. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Cool. Second question.
Second question. If I can share my screen
You should be
for
able
a
to.
second. Yes, I will. This one. So, you know Shep.
Oh, it's the man.
He's the man. So, Shep has this thing called One Tap Connect, and
Okay.
it's way better than just putting up one QR code of your LinkedIn. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of contact.
Okay.
Email, call, text, connect, LinkedIn, Facebook, my newsletter, YouTube.
Yeah.
Would you like the Swiss Ginsu knives? It's got like everything in one.
Yeah.
And so my question is, like, I want this.
Yeah.
Is there anything on the Talkadot roadmap to kind of expand your footprint into those other areas?
Yeah, so that's kind of like a link tree. It kind of reminds me of like on someone's Instagram bio where it's like click the link in my bio and they click on the link tree and it's like you could get my podcast, you could get my t-shirts, you can get all those things. So if you want to like have that as the bonus, like, hey, click on that and you can get everything. I think that's great. Like right now we're sending people to one link. The link you send people to, you could send them to the
It's
to that.
called One Tap Connect.
One Tap Connect, right? You can send people to the One Tap Connect. You can send people to a link tree. So the link itself is agnostic. So your bonus could be that, and that could be fine. So that's what I would recommend right now. We're not like building out a One Tap Connect like functionality. That's not our. Let
Okay.
them do that. Yeah.
So then that comes back to my next question, which is a follow-on.
Mhm.
If we were to settle on one of those, which in your opinion is the absolute best? Is it Linktree? Is it One Tap Connect? Is it something else? And what integrates best with Talkadot?
Yeah, so I'll show you something. So number one, I just learned about One Tap Connect as you were just telling me about it. So I can't speak any. I can tell you Linktree is the industry standard that I see on Instagram. That's the most popular one. I know they have a free version and a paid version. Other than that, I'm not too well versed in options of that. Now, what you can do with us, and just so everyone's aware of this feature, which is important. I'm actually in Jim's account here because I pulled up his thing. Let me get out of Jim's account. Hold on. Sorry, Jim. I didn't.
It's all good. Whatever.
I put your link in the chat. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, I'm in my account now. Okay, so if you go here to your code and you go to edit code, now for step 3, you have the option of uploading a PDF, but you can also put in a link. So you could put in, link.tree/Arel Moody, which is not a real thing, right? So I could put that link directly in there and then hit next and then hit save. I'm gonna just cancel this so it doesn't actually save it.
Shit.
And then when people are on your Talkadot flow, at the end, I'll just go through this real quick. Yes. Do you want to? No, I don't want to book Arel. He sucks. Where it says get your bonus, when they would click on that, it would send them to that link tree or that One Tap. So you can send, be like, hey, I got some awesome goodies for you. Make sure to get on the bonus to get there, and it'll send them there. So you can put any link in our system, and it'll work just fine. And then when they get that email to say, hey, here's your bonus, it'll also send them to the Linktree or One Tap Connect. Cool. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep being great. I'm so glad you thought Marissa was awesome. It would have been really awkward if you were like, I was at Thrive and Marissa was there. She sucked, Arel. And then she would have been there like, hey, Jim, we had a great conversation. I'm glad it was a positive interaction because that would have got awkward quick. But Marissa's the best. She's the best. Grace, what's going on? Grace, can you hear me?
I can now. Just
Okay.
what happens when you try to be quiet. And
No, all
someone
good.
calls
All
on
good.
you, and you can't get it fast enough.
All
so-
good. We're here for you.
So my question more has to do with, I'm trying to decide what my email is going to be now that once the new spamming things come in and you can't use MailChimp if you've got Google, like Gmail, for example, they won't
Mhm.
let you.
Yeah.
I'm still deciding what I want to be when I grow up, name-wise. So, do you have a suggestion on like what comes first? Because there are a lot of chickens and eggs in this, and I'm not
Yeah.
really understanding, like, do I figure out what my ultimate brand is going to be, or just assume that if I pick something that's reasonably close, so I
Yeah.
can keep moving forward? I'm kind of stuck.
Now, is your question specifically about the email changes and the spam regulations, or something else? I want to make sure I got the
Well,
right
in other words,
question.
if I were to go with you guys and I don't have to change my email because your system, I
Mhm.
hate mass. I mean, that sounds like I'm being sneaky. I'm not trying to be sneaky. I'm just super
Mhm.
confused. And again,
Mhm.
like I said, I now is the time to make changes, so
Yeah.
I don't want to jump into anything. So if you've got a way around it that's upfront, not sneaky, that would be in itself a reason to go with yours while I'm figuring out what integrates best with whatever.
Yeah, so our system right now sends one email. So we do one automated email. We're not going to be like a fully integrated like MailChimp that's gonna like do campaigns and automations and landing pages. We're just doing that one email as a feature. Those folks, it's kind of their job to figure out. Like I almost can guarantee the MailChimps of the world, the ConvertKits of the world, they're gonna figure out how to make sure their deliverability adheres to the new Gmail standards. And for those of you who don't know, Google is basically cracking down on lots of cold emails. Like people have been mass emailing lots of people, and they just want to basically bring that down. So they're putting a lot of like tampers on it. So if I was a betting man, MailChimp's not going to lose all that money. ConvertKits, they're probably thinking about this all day, every day. So I would say don't freak out too much, because they're going to figure it out. We have a develop team. We have for everyone who doesn't know, we've got a CTO and we got a full-time dev team. So we're learning all of the DMARCs and SMRs and all of that crazy stuff that's outside of my wheelhouse to make sure that our deliverability is a higher rate. So when you use our tool, you'll know that that first email, the chances of it hitting the inbox are going to be very, 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 very high. And we're going to be monitoring that on your behalf, so you don't have to worry about it. And we're not going to use any trigger words that will cause you to get flagged as spam. But moving forward, anyone who is a brand name, the MailChimps, the ConvertKits, they're gonna figure it out. So I can't tell you which one is the best one, because that's obviously a very personal choice. I personally, in my personal use ConvertKit. In my business use, we use ActiveCampaign. I like ConvertKit. I think they do a great job. I think it's really simple and really easy. But just because it works for me it's hard for me to say it's the best one for you to do. But any brand name will figure this out, in my opinion.
So bottom line is figure out my brand and then just move forward and try not to think too much about what's out of my wheelhouse too.
That's right. That's right. I like to solve problems I know how to solve, and those are like outside of the wheelhouse. But I would say yes, based on what you said. Don't worry about it. Just choose what works for you. Move from there, and you'll be all right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Grace. We got John Register making the biggest announcement of his career this Monday. Got the email. I've been waiting with bated breath. So love to see the sprints that you are developing, John. So I think that's very, very
Sprints are
cool.
going to be crazy. We already got a few people signed up, so I'm like hyped. And I'm
This is
not doing
great.
them, so I have a whole team now. It's great. I love it because I don't understand any of it. Got a few questions for you today. Thank you for being on and doing these, Arel. And
Of course.
Marissa, wonderful job out there at Thrive. Very good job. So just want to give her a shout out, give her flowers as well. The first one is, how do I know, or where does that show up when I do send out your template? Where does it come back? I've been sending them out on my own right now. As you know, when I do it through Zoho, SpeakerFlow. So where do I see that show up?
When you say see that show up, I want to make sure I understand the question that you're asking. When you send an email, ask that question again.
So when I if I automate it through Talkadot after the presentation's over and it's going to the three audiences.
Yes. Yep.
How do I know that's coming back? Yeah.
Yeah. So great. Okay. So let me pull up Ooh, let me turn my phone off so it don't be going crazy on. Hold on. This is a great question, actually, and I want to bring this. This is actually a very good question. Ooh, okay. Let me share. So with the emails that are here, if someone, the emails come from our account, but the reply to email is the email that you have in your system here, right? So if someone receives our email, it comes from like a, you know, I forgot which one we use. It's like mail@talkadot.net or something like that, right? But if they hit reply, it's going to reply to this email address right here. So
Right.
that's where you're going to see it.
Thank you. Second question is, what else besides, my customizable link that I can put in on my survey is customizable that I can control?
Yeah. So the survey questions themselves.
Yep. And
Yep,
then what else do
absolutely.
you have that's customizable?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you go into creating a code here, so the first step is, do you want to collect leads, yes or no, right? So we typically recommend keeping it as yes, unless you're with an audience who says don't. So you can customize whether you collect leads or not, but we recommend leaving it to yes. You create your code. I'll just make a code for illustrative purposes. How to be awesome as a human, right? So I can put this link here so you know how to either upload it from your computer or paste the link right there. And then these are your 1 to 5 emoji questions. So these are other things that you can customize. So when they say, was John's talk actionable, engaging, interactive, inspiring, relevant? If you're ever doing a talk where one of these doesn't feel like, hey, I'm not going to nail that one. So like the example I like to give is interactive. Maybe you're not doing an interactive talk because you're doing more of a keynote. So you don't want to be gauged on how interactive you are. You might want to change that to one of our other words, which might be, informative. And then maybe instead of inspiring, you want to do practical, right? So you can change your 1 to 5 emoji questions, which is the Likert scale. So those questions you have the ability to customize, and then you can add the additional question as well. And that is how you can customize the survey for now. In the future, we're going to have higher levels of customization, but that's the main customization to the survey you can do at this stage.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. May your sprints turn into marathons. I don't know if that's a great.
No.
No, I don't know. May the sprints be forever sprinting. I don't know. May you always have lots of sprint cycles. Whatever it is.
May they ever be in my favor.
Yeah, and may you always win. You did track. I didn't do track. Clearly, that wasn't the best reference. What's up, Tony?
Good afternoon.
I'll
Good
be back.
afternoon. I'm gonna have to run real fast.
Okay, we'll do this quick.
Okay, so I have hot leads, warm leads,
Yes.
and that's wonderful. And how do I know the email went out? I just trust the system.
Yeah, right now, trust the system. Like this, it is going out. We monitor it. They're getting them.
Okay. And now you just told me that I need to check my other email to see if I got any replies. And then is there a way to filter by date leads?
Filter. So kind of, sort of. So when you look at your leads here, they're in chronological order. So if you wanted to filter them by date, the best thing to do would be like to select all and then hit download leads. And then you would get those leads as a CSV file. And then you can do all kind of sorting in the CSV Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, very good. And then my question is about my affiliates. I know you gave me a private message on that.
Yep.
Are we still working on getting that reporting?
Yeah, so on the back end, our affiliate system now, we created this automation that's supposed to make our life easier, but it takes now 2 weeks for us to get the update. So we will have an answer for it. Anytime anyone has an affiliate comes in, it's just a 2-week cycle before we get an answer now until we can fix it. So I will shoot you an email the moment I have the updated count for you. But I know things did come in. I know that because you said you had some folks who said it, so I'll get that updated count for you.
Okay, very good. And the red fire means they're hot, warm. What's
Yep.
the difference between the hot and the warm?
So the hot lead is someone who says, I definitely book speakers and I want to give you my phone number, my email, my title, and my organization. A warm lead is someone who says, I definitely want to book you, but maybe they left out an email or they left out a title. They left out some piece of information because typically when someone is hot, they want to give you everything. So the people who say they definitely want to book you and they give you everything, those people are hot.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, Tony.
Okay, bye.
Peace. Doris,
Hello, good morning.
what's
So a
up?
couple of questions. Nice to see everybody. When do the automated emails from Talkadot go out? Is it the minute we're done talking, the minute they get the thing? Like, tell me more about that.
This is a great question. So the automated emails go out a few hours after your presentation. So they don't go out immediately. And the reason why we don't have them go out immediately is because we want people to get them like maybe when they are home or when they're at their hotel room. So it goes out a couple of hours afterwards. And it's like, hey, thanks so much for attending Doris's thing. Here's your bonus. So that hopefully what that will do is allow a better timing of them being able to be in the mental space to schedule a meeting with you or reply to you at a higher clip.
Yeah, because sometimes like I gave a talk last week and it was in the middle of the sea between Jamaica and Haiti. So not everybody had connection with internet. So I saw them trickling after they got back to Florida. So
Yeah.
so it's each individual when they sign in like 3 hours later, they get it, or they once it bunches out, it doesn't send anymore.
Yeah, so it'll batch out and email all of them a few hours after your presentation. The exact timing, I'll have to get the exact number because I don't have that in my memory right now.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking. So if let's say one person or two people
Yes.
put their information a day later, 2 days later, do they
They'll
still
still
get it then just on a
100%.
different time schedule?
That's right. Yeah. So if I put in my email like 2 days later because I happen to have watched it, I'll still get it a couple of hours after I put it in.
Got it.
You won't worry about missing anyone. Everyone will get something.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
Yeah.
The other question, and maybe nobody's here doing this, but I was wondering if anybody here knows about OBS. It's a virtual platform, and I got sucked into it, but in a really amazing way. But I know nothing about it. So I'm like was playing with it on Friday and trying to look it up, and just do it in a best way. But I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm
No,
trying to get away from Zoom, but I'm using Zoom, but for OBS.
OBS.
Just incorporating those two because I just think it's so cool. I know nothing about it. So
It is. I know people who love Ecamm. I know a lot of Ecamm lovers, and I know a
but
lot of
Ecamm is $400 a year and OBS is free.
correct, right? So OBS, for those of so I'm not an expert in OBS, as you can tell. I'm not using it. Like I don't have cool transitions and foot pedals and all that fun stuff. So there's a guy named John Chen. Do you know John by chance?
Yes, that's who I was hearing it last week. He was giving a talk and he used this OBS, and I just went like, oh dear God in heavens, I need to know that.
Are you connected to John? Because he's the guy that like he's the first person I thought of. There's also another user, Michael Pope Jr. He's pretty well versed with all things tech as well. I would recommend starting with John because that's where you got it from, and being like, where do I go? How do I get started? And he could help you significantly better than I can because I've stayed in my wheelhouse of.
No, it's
Zoom.
totally fine. I just wanted to know, if everybody's here. Maybe somebody is another OBS.
If anyone here uses
enthusiast.
OBS, please jump in. But by the quietness of it, I don't know if any of us are OBS users.
Okay. And the last question I had was the linked tree versus one tap, which I think Jim was mentioning. Can we have maybe Jim can share with us an example of how he uses the one tap connect, and just so I, speaking for myself, kind of get a little bit more in the know.
So I'll share again. I just learned about One Tap, so I'm not like the best person to say anything about it, but I imagine it works just like a link tree does. So with Linktree, you create like link dot I don't know how to say, I don't know how to do this URL here, but Linktree / Doris, for example, right?
Uh-huh.
And then like you could put, you see how it has these different links right here? So it goes to one link, but then you could say like subscribe to my podcast, buy my book, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, join my 90-day challenge. So you can put as many links as you want, and that's really, really good for those kind of multi-passionate entrepreneurs or multi-passionate people who want to throw people in lots of directions. So typically where people use Linktree is in their Instagram bio, because for whatever reason, Instagram doesn't let you embed links into your posts. So the posts always say, hey, click the link in my bio. So instead of
Yes.
having to constantly change the links in your bio, you can just have like, click here to get 10% off my skinny tea, click here to get my protein powder, click here to get my, Fashion Nova, whatever my algorithm shows me that people are clicking on, right? So you can just update your link tree, and then you can keep your link tree persistent. So that's where I've almost
Oh,
primarily seen Linktree used, is in LinkedIn, Instagram bios.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too, but I've never used it. So I thought, interesting. Okay. So thank you, Jim.
And
Yeah,
Jim
Jim.
Harris just put Shep's. So if you click on that image, you can see it's like, hey, do you want to email Shep? Do you want to call Shep? Do you want to text Shep? Do you want to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, add, maybe add them to your contacts? So like, I imagine he's like, hey, if you want to stay in touch with Shep, here's how to stay in touch with Shep.
Okay. Okay. I'll look at it. And Barbara, I'll put in my email so you can connect with me. And if I find any information, or if Mr. Shen can, maybe will say, hey, I can do 15 minutes with you on the phone and teach you what I know about OBS, which will be amazing.
Yeah.
But you never know.
I will tell you, do not, if you get intimidated by John, I've seen his setup virtually. He's got an insane virtual setup. Like I've never
see,
seen anyone.
Yeah,
It's like,
what he
he's got
did
like
was
12
it was a
cameras.
webinar. It was a
Yeah.
webinar, and anyway, I spent maybe 5 hours on YouTube tutorials over the
Mhm.
weekend trying to learn OBS. And I am, 1 to 10, I may be now at 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's totally outside my wheelhouse. I've seen it. I have lots of friends that use it. I've not gone down that rabbit hole yet. But now that you're talking to me, maybe I will. Who knows?
It was amazing. It was just amazing, very interactive. We're not, when we're presenters and it's showing us, in a small thing, and then you share, let's say, a PowerPoint, and it takes all of it, and we're little. This one was like very impressive. That's all I
No,
gotta
it's bonkers.
say.
It's bonkers. Well, keep us updated on how that goes.
I will.
Cool. Awesome. Other questions? Ravi, did you have a question? I think I heard you speaking earlier, and I may have been right, I may have been wrong. Did you have a question, brother?
Yes, I did have a question. The problem is I'm so new that I don't even know where to begin. All I know is that I decided that Talkadot will provide value, and I decided to take the plunge and actually upgrade. No problem. It's a good product. It works. But I haven't even begun to, look under the hood and,
Have you gotten any of our emails regarding onboarding?
Yes, I have, and I have not
Okay.
read any one of them because I'm one of those
That's okay.
guys. I got a ton of things that I'm working on right now. So
No. So we do what's called onboardings every week. We actually have one today at 3:00. So this is an AMA and Ask Me Anything, where it's like, come on, ask whatever questions you might have. The onboarding is specifically for folks just like you who are like, I've never used it before. I want to use it.
Do you have any session that begins after 4 p.m.? See, I'm a physician and I run a very busy clinic.
Copy. Yep.
3:00 is like smack.
Yeah. That's in the middle of your day. No, I totally get it.
No, at 4:00 I can I can make an excuse and kind of carve time out at 4, but I really can't carve time out at 3.
Yeah, that sounds understandable. Ravi, do me I'm gonna throw my email in the chat right here. And I'm gonna write your name down as well. We'll find a time to do it.
I got you. Talkadaot.com. Okay, I got it. That's easy to
Yeah,
remember.
and we'll set some time up. I'll do a quick run through with you in a time frame that works better for your schedule. You're taking care of people medically. I take my hat off to you and salute you. That's very important.
No. Everyone does their work and everyone does what they're good at. And so
You got a
that's okay.
stethoscope around your neck, Ravi. You literally just stepped away from saving lives. Okay, we gonna make our schedule work for you. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, this background is fake.
Unless you're Doris. Doris apparently is doing presentations in the Caribbean. But we doing virtual work.
Let me tell you very quickly. I don't want to dominate the conversation here because there's a lot of people. Very quickly, I do have. So I actually have a bunch of friends, who are in the C-suite category. And I reached out to them because one of the things I'm really good at is building high performance teams and leading them through crisis. So, so long story short, I got about 2 or 3 potential workshops building up to materialize in the fall at companies that do somewhere between $250 million to $500 million of business in the healthcare space. And so Talkadot becomes very essential for me as a tool as I rev up to that. And I'm also in the process of putting together my one-day workshop. In addition to my, I got my signature speech down, but so these are the things that I've been working on, and I also
want to help support that.
Yeah, I came to know about you through 3 different sources, actually. Cesar Cervantes was one, Amy Dix was another, and Evolve Benton was a third.
Those are great humans.
Yeah. So so that's bottom line. That's where I am. And
yeah, so we'll connect and we'll find a time so you can be supported as you help the organizations and those high performing teams. Like, we're here for you. Like, so got your back. No problem. Look out for an email from me, and if you don't get one within like an hour, feel free to email me.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ravi.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.
Doctor, I got it right. You got the MD. You worked hard for it. Other questionerinos. Jim, were you waving your hand? What's up, Jim?
So, we are doing a Zoho integration. We're partway through it.
Is it with SpeakerFlow or Zoho?
SpeakerFlow.
SpeakerFlow.
So, yours was the first system we settled on, and theirs was the second. And I just wanted to ask you if you could talk through, those who don't know, Zoho has 51 apps, so you don't have to pay $45 a month for your Salesforce CRM per user. You don't have to pay for MailChimp you don't have to pay, for 51 different apps. It's a Swiss Army knife of integration. And even more important than the $6,000 to $10,000 of saving a year for a speaker on all these SaaS models, more important than that is the data moves seamlessly between all the apps. So you don't need Trello, you don't need Slack, you've got everything integrated. Anyways, Talkadot is integrating with Zoho One and SpeakerFlow. So can you, we haven't turned ours live yet, but we're going to be shortly. And I just want, if you can talk about that for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, if anybody wants to do SpeakerFlow, I have a referral code somewhere.
Yeah, no, we love SpeakerFlow. We're actually going to do a training with them next month, I believe. I got to double check the date, but we have a training, I think April 20 or something. I got to get the exact date. But yeah, we love SpeakerFlow. We think they're great guys. I use SpeakerFlow in my speaking business. So let me kind of like give the quick update. So number one, if you go to your settings, go to account settings, and then you scroll down to SpeakerFlow integration. This is where you put what's called your webhook. They'll help you create that. And all you've got to do is make sure that that's turned on. And if it's turned on, it'll do all of its fun stuff. Now, what are some of the things that it can do? So if you go over to your My Leads, right? So with SpeakerFlow, when you set up the integration, and Austin and Taylor, they're awesome. They'll help you set it up. So with the bookings, right? These are all of your booking leads. Now with SpeakerFlow, you can have that come into our system and then automatically go into your SpeakerFlow. And then you can tag them as booking leads. And then maybe you have automated tasks that you've have set up, like I want to send them this or email them this. So you'll have a bunch of automations that you'll have set up to reach out to your booking leads, follow up. Maybe you have reminders that go out like every 90 days to follow up with someone. So that will automatically trigger as soon as they hit your booking category without you don't have to do anything. Same thing for your referrals and same thing for your email opt-ins. So as your booking leads, referral leads, or general emails come in, you can move them into your Zoho SpeakerFlow, and then maybe you're doing an email campaign, or maybe you do a newsletter. So for example, everyone on your email opt-in will automatically move to your Zoho, and you'll be able to just weekly send them your newsletter and drip campaigns and just build those relationships with them. So with our tool, you don't have to do anything manually. All you got to do is turn it on, and then whatever automations you have set up in your business, whatever emails that you want to go out will automatically go out. And then in the ideal world, you're sitting down and drinking a pina colada and somebody's contacting you because they're like, hey man, you've been reaching out to me for weeks. I appreciate that. I wanted to set up a call, but you've just been drinking pina coladas because it's all been automated. So that's basically what the main functionality of the Zoho to Talkadot integration is and how you turn it on. And you don't have to drink. Pina coladas are optional. You don't have to. You could drink a lemonade. You could drink an Arnold Palmer. It's no judgment. Doris, did you have questions about SpeakerFlow? Happy to answer them as best as I can.
So no, I think you answered it. I think I need to, there's just so many, and I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way here, but there's so many things that we need to do to connect and, with our customers, with our leads. And sometimes I'm just a little bit thinking, oh my God, how much can we do? So I actually appreciated Jim where he was talking about Zoho, which I'm not as familiar with. That it incorporates a lot of the things that we're doing, like Trello or like other memberships. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that, or maybe I should just do more research, which I guess I have
so
to.
look, we are not in a world where, I mean, I'm sure there's a software that helps you like choose pickles, and it's like maybe you like extra crunchy pickles, maybe you like sweeter pickles, and they help you like there's a software for everything, right? So like, I always adhere to the philosophy, which is a weird phrase, but I like it. It's like, how do you eat a mammoth? One bite at a time. So like trying to learn all the softwares at once, you will fail. But like what you're doing, I want an OBS kick. I want to learn everything about OBS and then move on to the next one. So with SpeakerFlow, which is built on Zoho, it's a tool that is the Swiss Army knife. So you can do all of your, email campaigns, you can do your CRM, you can do your project management. They've built tons and tons and tons of different things to do all of them, right? So a lot of people like to use them as their all-in-one suite, and they're like, hey, I want to send a contract out. I'll send it through Zoho Sign instead of DocuSign or something like that. So it does a lot of the things and it integrates it. And I think Zoho is a really, really great tool. Now, the only thing that I will say, which again, this is just me being very transparent, is some people like, how would I describe it? It's a great tool. It's like kind of like almost like a cheesecake factory. Have you ever been to Cheesecake Factory and you go to the menu and it's got
so
like
many things you get full just by reading those things.
Correct. So Zoho is like the Cheesecake Factory, right? Where some people go, no, I want to go to like a Ruth's Steakhouse. And it's like, I just want like all they do is steak and they do the best steak in the whole wide world. Now, again, it's not one is better than the other. It's like what your philosophy is. Some people like, I want to go to the steakhouse and I want to get the best steak in the whole wide world. So I want to get like a tool that all they do is contracts, as an example, right? So I'm going to go with the DocuSign because I think it's the best tool in the whole wide world, and they've thought of every little possible thing to make my life easier, and I'm willing to pay extra the same way you'd pay extra at a steakhouse for that experience. Now, other people are like, I like to go to Cheesecake Factory because maybe I want Chinese, maybe I want Turkish food. Where can I get that in one place? The Cheesecake Factory, right? So Zoho gives you that breadth of options. One isn't always better than the other. It depends on what your needs are. But in the beginning, when you're trying to save money and you're being like, I'm at learning, I mean, I use them. I also use other tools as well, but I use them because they do make life easier, and it's built. SpeakerFlow is built for speakers, so they help set up your CRM and your tags so that it all, like if you ever signed up for a tool and it's like, customize this tool if you're an agricultural farmer, and you're like, no, I'm not an agricultural. Now I gotta like figure out what to do with this line item that says seed, list turn. I don't even know what that is, right? Everything in SpeakerFlow is built for our specific use case. So that's the big benefit.
So
I
what
like
I'm
that.
hearing is like, because I'm hearing the Zoho and I'm hearing SpeakerFlow, but maybe it will be really more clear to me, maybe for sure, if we know like what's under SpeakerFlow, what's under Zoho, and how
Yeah.
is that connects to this?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm really glad you asked that. So I want you to imagine SpeakerFlow built a tool for speakers using Zoho's platform. So when I use the words Zoho and SpeakerFlow interchangeably, Zoho's kind of like, this isn't a great analogy, but imagine it's kind of like Adobe. No, that's not a good example. It's like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy here that would be easy and understandable. Are you familiar with white labeling? Are you familiar with the term white labeling?
Microsoft Word. It's like Microsoft Word. Zoho, you can.
So
But
you can have a PowerPoint and Excel and Word document, and all of that is Microsoft 365. So that's SpeakerFlow.
Zoho. No, that's
no, that's Zoho. That's Zoho.
That's Zoho.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Microsoft 365 is Zoho, right? And then I'm like, I built you a Microsoft Word template and a Microsoft Excel template that's perfect for your business. That's SpeakerFlow, right? So I can create any kind of Word document, any kind of Excel document using Microsoft 365. Or I could create an Excel spreadsheet that has everything I need to track all of my flights and all of my hotels, and it's color coordinated, and I press a button and the Excel spreadsheet does everything that I needed to do for me to keep track of my flights. That would be like SpeakerFlow. So SpeakerFlow uses Zoho so that they can build you the CRM and the emails and all that stuff just for your speaking business.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's actually, Fred, that's actually really good. Thank you, Fred. So you know how Lego has Lego sets? You can buy a Lego set to build like a Millennium Falcon or, a Harry Potter. So you're buying the Harry Potter Lego set, but it's all Legos. Zoho is Legos, and SpeakerFlow, that's a really good analogy, is the Millennium Falcon Lego set. Shout out to you, Fred. That's really, really way better than what I went really in the wrong direction. I was running East 4 Sunset. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's so much to
Yeah.
absorb as we're learning. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Cool. Other questions? Preguntas. That's the extent of I don't know how to say questions in any other language.
I gotta go. So,
Go ahead. Go save lives. Appreciate you. All right, cool. Well, thank you all for joining us for this week's Ask Me Anything. We do these every single week, so any questions you have, we can get answered. These are wonderful, wonderful questions, and we're looking forward to continuing to build and change our tool to meet your needs and make it like a custom filled suit. And again, the greatest gift you could give to us, if you're ever like, oh my gosh, I love Marissa, I want to pay her back for being so great, tell more of your friends about us, y'all. You got a friend who's a speaker that's not using Talkadot, grab him by the collar, smack him up a little bit, and be like, why are you not using Talkadot? And then after you come out of jail, because you will get arrested for doing that, so don't actually do that in real life, they'll be like, thank you for slapping the proverbial sense into me. But definitely tell your friends about it, tell your speaker friends about it. It is the greatest compliment, and the more folks who are using us, the more good speakers we're bringing to the top, which is key. We want to get all of those bad speakers out of the industry or figuring out how to get better from their feedback. And we want the good folks like all of you, that cream, to rise to the top. So thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you all for the Talkadot Pro users on our Talkadot Pro training on where to find speaking opportunities. And everyone else, I'll see you next week. Take care.